Hello, good morning. It's the first time I'm speaking in a church, so please apologize if I'm feeling a bit uneasy. Ooh. Yeah, the digital single market sometimes is also regarded as a holy grail, so maybe it's not a bad place to have the speech. But yes, my name is Tammik. I'm working for the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Communications here in Estonia. But I have been dealing with digital single market strategy for some time. Maybe I have to be closer. Yep. Okay, very good. I will add also a small disclaimer here. So everything I will say is my personal view. So I'm not representing Commission's views here. So the digital single market strategy as such is a Commission initiative. And although we are quite a big supporter as a country for this strategy, we do not necessarily agree with everything that is in there. So our ministry normally deals with the competitiveness of our economy, but I think there is a clear link also with topics you are dealing with, and if you are talking about innovation, creativity, free movement of data, public sector information, these are the topics that have been also relevant for our ministry as well. And if you're going to have discussions in the future about copyright, for example, geo-blocking, platforms, the regulating of platforms, these are also the topics where our ministry is greatly involved. I was serving in Brussels for 9 years as a telecoms attaché. And when I arrived to Brussels in 2006, the telecoms working group was dealing with postal issues. So in 2006, we dealt with the questions how the physical letters are delivered into your mailboxes. Now the same group is dealing with other questions. We are trying to answer questions relating to sharing economy, how to regulate platforms, do we have level playing field there? So the scope of the discussion has widened quite considerably. So there's a big change there. And I think digital single market, or the DSM in a short way, is reflecting this change as well. I think it all started, or we can take as a starting point the year 2010, when we had quite a grave economic situation in Europe, and the second Barroso Commission was considering how to move forward with economic development and also with the social development. So it was the obvious answer was that okay, we have to have more internal market, because this is one of the cornerstones of European Union. And it was observed that we have made quite a good progress in terms of delivering goods. We have made quite a good progress when it comes to free movement of capital, but that we are perhaps lagging behind on the area of free movement of services and people. I will not talk about free movement of people. This is a hot topic, but in the context of services, but also in the context of goods, it was realized that we have a digital aspect there. The physical goods are moving quite freely, but we have a problem with the digital ones, and also with the services. It's quite easy to use service nowadays in a cross-border way, but actually they are not used. So the answer in 2010 was that let's combine the internal market and digital, and then we have digital single market. Okay, the Barroso second commission gathered, made a strategy called digital agenda for Europe, which had 101 actions, basically covered all the areas that were related to digital. It was seen as a digital single market was within this big strategy as a first priority, and it was endorsed by the European Council, which said on Prime Minister's level that, okay, let's achieve the digital single market by 2015. The agenda was considered as one of the most successful flagships for this Commission. And yes, in terms of action lines within the 101, very big amount of these actions was done as planned. So can we say today that we have achieved an digital single market? I think the end of the year is approaching. But I'm afraid we are not able to say that, and I think this is why we are having on a table today a more focused digital single market strategy. We are not talking about 101 actions, but we are talking about less than 20 targeted actions in order to ensure that perhaps by 2020 we can say that the digital single market is working. So I think I answered the question why we are doing this. So it's kind of we are having a problem. I think we have two fundamental trends. One is the technological change, of course, and it's not slowing down. And it's quite obvious why, because we have more and more technology and we are more and more people dealing with it. So the change is still speeding up. And on top of that, we have creative use of this technology. So the expectations of the people doesn't meet the reality quite often. Commission has made many fact sheets which you can read and which described how the digital single market doesn't work. The economic potential of the digital single market seems to be enormous. I mean, some economists have calculated that there is 415 billion euros of additional growth to make here. And this is one thing, or the facts and figures. But the other thing is that how we feel about the digital single market. If we do all the regulations and if we even have very good statistics, but we still everybody have very bad examples how our digital experience online was not good or was not satisfying ourselves, then we still have a problem that we cannot say that the digital single market is working. And by the way, if you talk about the physical single market, normally it's regarded that it's working well. And why? Actually, because we can cross borders freely. So simple as that. Nobody talks about having goods actually at the store. So quite strange. Now I'm starting to answer question, what do we want to achieve with the digital single market? I think we have to define what we want to achieve. Do we want to fill only regulatory gaps, or do we need a practical change on certain areas? And I talked about that sometimes even the goals are not enough. It's something how we feel about digital single market. And if I'm looking at the action lines of the digital single market strategy, it's clear what do we want to achieve. When we talk about e-commerce, we want a clear understanding how our consumer rights are protected, so we can shop really. when we talk about parcel delivery, we want to have cheap prices, because in some areas, especially in Estonia, the parcel delivery is quite expensive. If you want to talk about geo-blocking, it's obvious that if you move abroad and our content doesn't come with us, it's another example for us that we have a problem. Or we are trying to buy shoes, for example, and the sale is refused to us. So there are many problems, actual problems, that the digital single market wants to solve. And now I'm to my third question, that how do we solve these problems then? The first answer of the Commission is quite obvious. It's quite common for the Commission that we have to analyze. So Commission set the areas of work or the topics, and normally said that, okay, we will analyze and then come up with the proposals. Now, when it comes to proposals, then we have basically two options, whether we are going to regulate or we are going to promote, because it's obvious that we need to do something. And then it's a question about the careful balance between the regulating something and promoting something. And I also already pointed out some problems with the regulating, that if we do fill all the regulatory gaps, we still have a problem. We cannot regulate all the problems away. It doesn't mean that we don't have to regulate when it's necessary, but we have to keep our actions targeted and quite simple. And I'm quite happy actually that the new Commission has adopted this approach. And 2 days ago there was a communication about copyright accompanied by a proposal for regulation on portability, which is very targeted and actually right on the issue that the content has to be portable, basically. That's what Article 3 says when you are temporarily abroad. The other thing when it comes to regulation is that we shouldn't have over-regulation. It's, sometimes, the world has moved so fast that actually we have to deregulate the old industry. So it's so when we talk about, for example, about the hotel bookings or taxi service, Uber, or the platform issue, that maybe it's not that we have to regulate all the new services as hard as we are regulating the traditional services, but we have to deregulate a bit also the traditional services. So I will talk about a bit also a promotion, where I believe the bigger part of the answer is that there are other ways which we have to address. There's quite a wide range of approaches there. One way is to have some kind of soft law or guidance by the Commission. One way is to give some money for research. The other way is to promote some kind of standards, facilitate take-up or demand. And I think this is something this project we are discussing here today is trying to do, and not to focus so much on regulation. The problem with the regulation is that sometimes it's the very hard or very slow way of doing things, and it's much more faster and easier, and often also better when the market is made to take the lead. And we have quite a few examples where the regulators haven't been able to solve the problem, and actually markets started to move and created this push. One thing I actually dealt over these 9 years I spent in Brussels was the roaming regulation. So when I went to Brussels, the roaming call cost me €3 per minute. Now it's going to disappear, for all. but it took 10 years. And why the regulation in the end succeeded perhaps was that the market development was leading the way. You had a price of the call €3, and of course Skype, other free call services noticed this kind of market gap and filled this. So basically they made the other traditional industry to move and also enabled the way for regulation. So when it comes to promoting the use of creative content and cultural heritage, and we have some problems in the regulation side, maybe we can also, while recognizing that there is this regulatory problem, we shouldn't hold ourselves back, and we have to move forward with the initiatives we actually want to see. I think there was a film forum some weeks ago in Tallinn as well, and there was an idea circulated. It's from Linnar Viik that said that we had actually the same message that maybe the regulation is something we shouldn't rely so much on, but let's make a Eurovision for European film. And I think this is a good example how you can actually promote the European creations in other ways than regulating things. So to sum up, the questions I tried to answer was that why we are doing this, and I think the answer is quite simple, that we have a problem. The second question I tried to answer was that what do we want to achieve? And it seemed that in terms of working areas, it's quite clear that we want to solve the problems, but sometimes we just have to refine the goals we want to achieve. And the third question was quite a tricky one. It's the how do we want to achieve it? And for me at least, it seems that the regulatory side often is not a complete answer to our problems with the digital single market. But anyway, I think we do want to achieve the digital single market for 2020, by 2020. Okay, thank you very much.